Hi, good morning, everybody, and happy Monday to you. I'm Rob Evans. Welcome to Daybreak Plus. We're breaking down all the news you may have missed overnight and digging deep into what matters to you. And we are learning more about the fox attacks that happened in Wimberley. A neighbor sharing her experience after a fox went into her home and terrorized her dogs. Last week, the Hays County Sheriff's Office reported someone was bitten by a fox on May the 9th. The fox later tested for rabies. You see where it happened here on Cypress Creek Lane. KVUE's Isabella Basco went to the neighborhood to learn more about the attacks.
Freaky Friday is how Linda Hasselberg describes Friday, May 9th. She says she opened the door to let out her dogs, Chico and Mindy, when a fox came right in.
They all ran under the bed, and all I heard then was barking and screeching and craziness, and I was hollering at the dogs to come out. Chico I thought he was being eaten. I was scared to death.
Terrified, Hasselberg called the Hays County Sheriff's Office, but the fox left before help arrived.
And he was screeching, you know, the way foxes, the sound that they make when they're upset. And he kind of doing this lunging thing forward. And then he took off, just trotted off.
Hasselberg believes the fox got in through a small opening in her back fence. She later found out a fox also bit her neighbor the same day, and the fox tested positive for rabies. Hasselberg took her dogs to the vet to get their boosters.
I don't think I even realized how important it is to have the rabies vaccine.
Clint Pulpin, a lieutenant with the Hays County Sheriff's Office Community Services Division, says pet owners will need to make sure their pets' vaccines are up to date. He calls this slew of incidents involving suspected rabid foxes concerning.
From what I was told historically, I don't know how long ago, but there was like an outbreak of rabid foxes, and then the state got that under control. And what we're concerned about now is this coming back?
I'm just very thankful to the Lord that he didn't get any closer to me than he did, and to the dogs.
Those dogs look they're happy and healthy this morning. If you think you or your pet did touch a rabid animal, call your local animal control agency for help. And if you do spot a fox, call the Hays County Sheriff's Office for additional help if, of course, you are in Hays County. Leave a door open, and if the fox doesn't leave, you can corral the animal into a room and shut the door. Again, you can also call the Hays County Sheriff's Office, again, for more help there. Now, fox attacks, it's not just there. They've also happened in San Marcos. There have been at least 4 reported attacks in the Purgatory Creek Natural Area. City officials suspect that fox also has rabies. And wildlife experts say, again, if you come in contact with a fox, if you're out there, don't touch it. And a woman accused of posing as a nurse to steal from older victims in Buda now faces more charges in other Central Texas cities. Last week, we told you about the charge against a woman named Gina Hernandez and another woman named Elsa Vasquez. Well, they were arrested for allegedly stealing from people living at the Huntington Senior Living Apartments in Buda. Now, this morning, we're reviewing arrest affidavits filed against Hernandez in Travis County. And prosecutors claim that she, you see her there, used the same scheme to steal wallets from people in Manor, from Lakeway and Barton Creek, using their credit cards then to buy food and liquor and other things. Faith Chatham says that she actually fell victim to the pair in January, and now investigators are looking for other victims. Take a listen to what Faith had to say.
They spotted me in the hallway, they spotted me in the lobby, saw I was in a wheelchair, saw that it was not the bottom of the line, so it was more likely that I might have a credit card. I was a real easy target, but they came into my apartment to do this. That's what's so insidious about it.
Now, Chatham used 311 to report the incident to Austin police. KVUE reached out to Hernandez's court-appointed attorneys in all 3 counties. We've not heard back yet. Well, city leaders ask you for your help making one busy Austin street safer. On Saturday, the city hosted a bilingual listening session at Montopolis Recreation Center in Southeast Austin. The Montopolis Drive between Highway 183 and Riverside Drive has a high number of severe and deadly crashes. That mile-and-a-half stretch averages a crash roughly every 5 days. People living nearby shared ideas to improve safety.
Just a regular crosswalk. We only have 2, so that's one of the problems. And then with the kids from the 2 schools, from Allison and Idea, they they have to walk because if they live within 2 miles of the school district.
And we put a link to the online survey with the story on KVUE.com. You have until June the 8th, and city officials say they'll use your feedback to craft recommendations released later this year. 7:06 right now. Let's get a look at our weather and traffic with Casey and Hannah. And Casey, we're getting some type of cool down or less hot down. I made that word up.
Less hot down, yeah. You know, not a huge change in our temperature department, but certainly when it comes to the humidity, we will get some relief starting tomorrow. Today, kind of our last day before that relief arrives. It's going to be another muggy start to the day. We've already been tracking some isolated areas of rain up towards the hill country. That cold front pushes through tomorrow morning. Again, not a huge cool down whatsoever, but that brief drop in humidity at least should make it a little bit more bearable to be outside, where we'll at least get a break from those triple-digit heat index values that we dealt with all weekend long. Out the door right now, we are tracking some showers now, working their way into areas like Gillespie County. We've got some light to moderate and needed rain now moving through Llano County, Burnett County right now. Currently looking at some quick little downpours there out near Lake Victor at the moment. Farther north is where we're tracking our next front, currently draped across South Colorado, South Utah. That's what's going to be heading in our direction as we head into late tonight and early tomorrow morning. Out ahead of that today, we are still warm. We're muggy. Those winds to the south, that front pushes through and eventually brings us that drier air that will start to feel as early as tomorrow morning. That humidity will kind of be dropping throughout the day for your Tuesday, so it should be feeling much more comfortable compared to what we've been dealing with, which has been those dew points that have been all the way up in the 70s. Notice the drop, it's brief, but we'll take it. Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll watch for that humidity dropping before it starts to pick right back up towards the tail end of the work week and into the weekend. As I said, this won't be changing our high temperatures very much, but what we will lose are those triple-digit heat indices across the area, and we'll likely see some slightly cooler nights back in the forecast with some of that drier air moving back in. So the remainder this morning featuring some additional areas of isolated rain as we head into the afternoon. We could be watching for some additional thunderstorm activity. This particular forecast model, really not overly excited about it. It's just going to be dependent on how soon we can get some of the sunshine making a comeback, but some isolated storms will be a possibility today, some of which could be on the stronger side. Heading into tonight, that cold front starts to move through. Out ahead of it, watch for some showers and storms late tonight into early tomorrow morning. For most of us, it's going to be before the sun rises. We'll see a few of these pass through in this broken line. That's out of here. Drier air moving in and sunshine returns in full force for your Tuesday afternoon. Today's severe storm outlook, we've got a level 1 to level 2 risk for severe storms. Again, if these storms manage to materialize, they'll certainly have enough humidity, enough warmth to tap into to the point where they could be on the stronger side, strong to severe with maybe some large hail, some gusty to damaging winds. The better ingredients overall are going to be for northern zones, Burnett County, Llano County, those hill country zones, along with the northern stretch of I-35. Highs today back into the low to middle 90s we go. We'll be feeling like the triple digits for many of us by this afternoon, so it's going to be another tough day of heat ahead. Cold front moves through as we head into early tomorrow morning. That humidity will start to drop, that we keep with that warm high of 96 degrees. There's that cooler morning Wednesday. The drier air allows for a seasonable start to your Wednesday morning. Back into middle 90s, we stay dry for Wednesday afternoon, and then we'll be looking at our next best chance for some showers and storms on Thursday. Isolated storms return Friday and Saturday, looking dry as we get into your Memorial Day weekend, but I will say Sunday and even into Monday as I look ahead, trending a little bit wetter as we could be back into a more active weather pattern.
Goodness gracious. Well, at least it's not going to be triple digits this week. And I sure hope the good folks in South Austin, I hope you'll have a good playlist and a bucket of coffee today, because if you're just waking up, we have two separate crashes of this stretch here, all heading into those northbound lanes. Look at this nasty gridlock. We really are not moving at this point. You can kind of see in slow motion there, and it's clogging up that frontage road. So let's get into the details. Once again, it's kind of this little sandwich. So here's the crash at Stastny, 2 lanes blocked there, and then you can see all that backup, and then kind of just an awkward little gap of relief, and then a separate crash in the northbound lanes at Onion Creek Parkway with those backups pretty much all the way back to SH45. So earlier I was recommending you could exit by that Slaughter area and then kind of weave your way up. At this point, you don't want to get stuck in this one, so you might want to try to get on that 45 toll road or take one of these FM roads through Buda and kind of work your way up to 290. It really depends where you work today, and some of you, the sad truth is you just have to kind of sit in that because we just don't have a lot of options for that stretch of road, and that is right where all that construction is going on, of course, for this Capitol Express project. So it's really just a hot mess, to be frank. Taking a look right now, we also have a separate crash on FM 1854, seeing some stop and go through that Cedar Creek area, and anyone that might be heading out towards that South Austin terminal on 183. Let's take a look across the rest of the map today. You can see pretty quiet for the rest of us, but ouchie Buda, 15 miles per hour. It's just dreadful, isn't it? Hoping we can get that cleared up for you here pretty soon. And I'm really trying to spread the word on those 2 crashes because it is just dreadful having to sit in that. Manor, it is 40 miles per hour for you fine folks getting on 290 if you were coming to visit us today. Round Rock's we're doing pretty good there. It is 45 miles per hour. That'll get you to the 183 toll road, but at least there's no crashes there compared to what we're dealing with in South Austin. Rob, happy Monday.
Oh, thank you very much, Hannah. Former President Joe Biden was diagnosed with prostate cancer over this weekend. He is now reviewing his options. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the latest on his diagnosis.
This morning, reaction pouring in for former President Biden after he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. A spokesperson for the 82-year-old says the diagnosis comes after a small nodule was found in the former president's prostate. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer characterized by a Gleason score of 9.
A Gleason 9 prostate cancer is more aggressive, which means that it can grow more quickly and can be more likely to spread.
Mr. Biden's spokesperson says while this represents a more aggressive form of the disease, the cancer appears to be hormone sensitive, which allows for effective management. And this morning, an outpouring of support from across the globe. President Trump posting on social media, quote, "Melania and I are saddened to hear about Joe Biden's recent medical diagnosis. We extend our warmest and best wishes to Jill and the family." Former President Obama praised former President Joe Biden's work on supporting research for cancer treatment, saying, quote, "Nobody has done more to find breakthrough treatments for cancer in all its forms than Joe, and I'm certain he will fight this challenge with his trademark resolve and grace." And former British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak sharing on social media saying, quote, "Too many men are struck by this disease. We must continue to raise awareness of the danger it poses. Wishing Joe all the best for his treatment." President Biden launched his cancer moonshot in 2022 after his son Beau died from brain cancer 10 years ago this month. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer and the second leading cause of cancer death among men in the U.S., according to the National Institutes of Health.
Which means that there is an opportunity for an additional form of treatment which can improve his outcome.
Biden has mostly stayed out of public view since leaving office in January, but he did appear on The View earlier this month. Sources say Biden spent the weekend at home in Delaware reviewing treatment options with his family. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Now, this morning, law enforcement is searching for the inmates who escaped the New Orleans jail late last week. Louisiana police say that 7 of the 10 missing men, or rather 7 of the 10 men are still missing. They escaped from the Orleans Parish Jail early Friday morning. At least one was captured based on a tip from the public. Right now, though, a $12,000 reward for information that leads to the inmates' capture. And have you seen this video out of New York City? A scary situation. Take a look. This morning, investigators are expected to board that Mexican Navy ship that slammed into a Brooklyn bridge on Saturday. And we're looking at new images just moments before the crash. At least 22 people were hurt. 2 crew members were killed. Now, the sailboat was actually on a goodwill tour leaving New York Harbor when it hit the bridge, snapping all 3 masts. Now, the NYPD says the ship never intended to sail beneath the bridge, but what happened was it lost power. The tides pushed it back into the bridge, that 141-year-old bridge. Here's what one witness had to say about it.
We thought it was maybe going to go under the Brooklyn Bridge at like the highest point, so it would avoid striking the mast, but then we noticed it was going backwards.
Now, sailors on the ship traditionally climb those masts when leaving or entering a port, and that's where they were there on top. The NTSB is now working with the Mexican government to try and figure out how this happened. 7:15 right now. This season's American Idol came down to 2 strong singers, and in the end, America had to choose the PE teacher or the college student. ABC's George Panacchio with the winner and the reaction.
Jamal Roberts. Mississippi's Jamal Roberts, the father of 3 and PE teacher to many young students, is now also the new 27-year-old American Idol. You are holding that like an Oscar.
It's an Oscar. This is an Oscar. This is a dream come true. I'm so thankful. Oh, I cried for you. I always had faith. I just knew it wasn't going to be an easy journey. I knew it was going to be a ride, and if I wanted to be the American Idol, I had to sit in the passenger seat, put my seatbelt on, and enjoy the ride. I want for my kids. I want for my hometown. I want for the state of Mississippi.
If you're going to have 20 facets of singing, he has all 20 of them. And then if you add 5 more, which is emotions, all the 5s, he's got all that too.
He would come show up like this is a sporting event. He would work hard in practice, and he would play great in the game.
He has a toolbox with a whole lot more in there. So I'm just excited for him. I'm just blown away.
Didn't know who was going to win because you don't know what's going on out there, but there was no wrong answer. It was double the amount of votes than last year's finale. 26 million votes, highest in ABC history.
For the 2 finalists who did not get the title, well, they got something else.
I feel 100% peace and 100% satisfaction for sure. I feel content.
This journey on American Idol has given me exactly what I need to make a successful career in country music, because that's what I'll do to the day I die, is country music.
So American Idol is over for this season, but the show will be back next season. In Hollywood, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
And we have an update on the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center's great horned owl, Athena. We've been following her and her 2 owlets, right, for quite some time. Well, we know that one of her 2 owlets left the nest for the first time. They slipped back from the nest, but they climbed back up because they can't fly just yet. Staff says this means, though, that owlet is growing up, getting stronger. Athena and the wildflower staff are keeping a close watch on that family. And we leave this morning with something to talk about. You know, Vicki Sue Robinson taught us all how to turn the beat around half a century ago, but this morning, humans are being taught a few new tricks from a dancing queen on 4 flippers. Here's ABC's Danny New.
When I touch you, I feel happy.
I've heard of a drumming beetle. But how about a sea lion? Hey! This is Ronin, a very well-trained sea lion who, for example, had no problem sitting down for a formal interview. As you heard, Ronin not only can keep a beat, but recently has also proven to be better at it than many humans. Now, what do I mean by that?
The way that she can hear something and display her prediction of where the beat will fall was better than 10 humans in terms of consistency.
Carson Hood here works with the research team at the University of California, Santa Cruz's Pinniped Lab. She made those beats you heard, and she watched this already famous 16-year-old outdrum 10 people aged 18 to 23. You may remember in 2013 when Ronin emerged as a sensation for being the first non-human mammal to bob in rhythm to music.
It took minimal training.
Ronin does this all on her own. But why Ronin? One of her best pals and keeper of the fish, Jenna Sullivan, tries to explain.
Ronin is a good listener, is a cooperative partner.
Ronin is certainly very special. But with more research, could we find that other sea lions and maybe beyond could also display what's called biomusicality?
It might show that rhythm is much more present in the animal kingdom than we originally thought.
Up next, she says that they want to test how Ronin fares with beats that are more complex and have difficult patterns. But in the meantime, guys, can we throw up that picture one more time? Make me really happy, please. Thank you. Oh my gosh, look at that face. Such a lock to be my new screensaver. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
A lot of rhythm right there. Well, that's it for Daybreak Plus. Let us know what you want to talk about. Message me at 512-459-9442. You can also send us a message, or you can send a message to me if you want on social at Rob Evans TV on Insta, Facebook, or X. And stick around because Daybreak continues right here on KVUE Plus. Goodbye, everybody.